center of the root of all things is simply nothing. Yet here we are. I know it sounds paradoxical, but that's because that our whole lives we're experiencing an illusion that our brains create and our awareness. If anything at all is real, it's awareness. Because things like brains can be dissected into parts, and the parts have no individual recollection of what's going on the whole until the whole begins sending information downward, like a feedback system of self-correction. So, like, when I say nothing is real, I mean at the core of everything that exists is nothing. Nothing. And it's hard to even think about without thinking of it as something. But you can feel it, you can sense it in the right moments if you just look out past life. You know what I mean? There's this emptiness that's just unchanging. And it's like the letters, and then we use our desires and will as subconscious and control of our environment, and we wish things into our lives. And we have to see the mysticism, because it has been suppressed in the modern era. Since you were a child, you were told to believe that certain things were impossible. And this is a recent turn in human history away from spirituality, away from the present moment, away from the investigation of coincidence. But it's as easy as thinking there is no spoon. I don't know if you've ever seen The Matrix, but when that little kid bends the spoon with his mind, that's because it's nothing. There is no spoon. Therefore, it's the easiest thing to manipulate, to affect, to change. Of course, you can form nothing into anything. It doesn't have any parameters. So infinity is just going on, taking nothing and turning it into every possibility. And here we are in a random spot of it that is just as significant as the beginning or the end. The whole thing is a big fucking circle, And so emergence comes as the circle is higher dimensional compared to the line that created it. And so the present moment, the gestalt of time and past experience, is one of many cogs that come together to create the gestalt of life as a whole. And that's only for the individual, And so the properties that your whole life from birth to death exhibit are unique and beyond the properties, or at least outside of, that a present moment that you can experience will have. Just as, that is beyond the gestalt of everything you see, which is just beyond the gestalt of each specific wavelength. And so this cascade towards, it really is a cascade. It's layers. It's bullseye concentric circles. So, I guess, what's the point? The point is that, human beings have the ability to influence their own lives. And, it's a good thing to remind yourself of, because feeling stuck is shitty. And knowing that, it's the individual that makes the experience can give you some sort of sense of purpose. It's the individual that interacts with energy that's already there that makes the experience. And that's my problem with the Big Bang Theory, is that things based on Newton's laws don't just randomly explode. They continue their process until they're influenced by an outside source. Any system works this way. And so, what is that outside source? It's consciousness, awareness, And so, that's what I believe.